where a young 16-year-old... Stop. That is wrong. It should say 2014. That's fine. There's like edit script. Yeah, that should say 2014. Well, that's a good job we started again. I want to start this by taking you back to 2014, where a young 16-year-old Daniel is setting up to take his final exams, and once he gets over that hurdle, he's going to be able to study graphic design and start doing what he really wants to be doing. He gets his head down, works hard, and through the tough times, gets the grades he needs and is one step closer to be able to do what he loves. We fast forward to 2019, and after 5 years of college and university, he is once again facing the biggest challenge of his life so far. He once again has to get his head down, work as hard as he can, and through even tougher times, he gets his bachelor's degree in graphic design and again, one step closer to doing what he loves. Straight after university, he gets his first internship at a graphic design studio in the city that he loves, and after 1 year, he is offered a contract for a full-time job the day he turns 22. He of course signs the contract. This is the happiest he has ever felt. All that getting his head down, hard work, and pushing through the tough times has finally paid off. But just like all good films that come in 3 parts, I was about to get my trilogy.
You must stay down. The empty streets echoing the way of silence.
I lost my job after 2 weeks of having it. My plans to ever move out of my parents' house were now non-existent. All the money I had ever saved started to go down to the point that I was almost broke. And to make matters worse, I was no longer doing what I enjoyed doing because no business saw my passion as a priority anymore. Depression is such a strong word and should be used lightly, but I had never felt so low and so sad in my entire life. Everything I had ever worked for gone in an instant, and I didn't know what I was going to do. At this point, this was the toughest time of my life, but if my previous triumphs were anything to go by, it's that I thrive under pressure and always come out better on the other side. A part of life is to adapt, and if my graphic design career was put on pause, then why not press play on something new? So as well as graphic design, I also had a passion for taking photos. But it was only a hobby and didn't think anything more of it. But when you're stuck inside with a camera on your desk and a bunch of crap scattered across it, it wouldn't hurt to make something from it. Like many others, product photography became a big part of my lockdown. It made me see things in new ways, and once uploaded to social media, people really seemed to like what I had to offer. Social media gets a bad rap, and for good reason. But this was my way of escaping for the better part of a year. I put all my efforts into it and made sure I was churning content out on the daily. I began to make contact with like-minded people who loved what I did and I loved what they did. I found myself in a community of people like no other because we were all in the same boat and we all knew what each other was going through. Photo after photo, people started to notice, and even better, brands started to notice. I started to gain clients, they loved what I had to offer, and as time went by, my passion for photography grew by the day. By this point, things began to ease up. The people that I connected with wanted to meet up, and finally I got to know each of them properly. It began around my hometown of Bristol, finding new and exciting places to take photos of. It then grew to places like the New Forest, Cornwall, the Lake District, Peak District, the Brecon Beacons, places that I had never been to before, showing me that there is a whole other world outside of the city I thought I would never leave. It is now late 2020 and I'm sitting on top of the Valley of Rocks thinking about what photography has done for me this past year. The things I have created, the people I have met, I never thought I would love something as much as I loved graphic design. When I got home, I edited up a photo of me contemplating this exact feeling, and on December 1st, 2020, I released Flint and Steel out into the world and told everyone that I am now a freelance photographer and ready to get started. It's now January 1st, 2021. The fireworks are going off, people are drinking, having a good time, and I'm sat in bed, crying my eyes out and feeling the worst I have ever felt. I think we all imagined 2021 to come around and make all of 2020 just disappear, and we can all get back to normal. Seems silly, but we all wanted it to happen. Now, of course, it didn't, and my new year was off to a bad start. But once again, I wasn't going to let this defeat me. I once again got my head down, worked hard, and made sure that through the tough times, I came out on the other side better than I was before. The photos are still being churned out, posting 3 times a day to Instagram. I'm talking to new people every week, making connections, letting brands know about me, coming up with bigger and better ideas. I wanted this so badly and wasn't going to stop. That's when I got a text from someone who I now consider one of my closest friends, but at the time I had only known him for a short while. He said he knew someone at his job that needed an editing and video assistant and that I could try for an interview. By this point, I hadn't done video in a while. I did it all the time growing up, editing short videos together and just having fun, but never thought I could do it professionally. But at this point, I had nothing to lose. I had the interview, I told them about my background, my qualifications, my experiences, and they liked what they heard. A couple weeks go by and I get this email. Turns out I got the job. However, this job was to be treated as just another client. I was still free to take on whatever work I wanted, just as long as I committed to so many hours per week. And just like my 22nd birthday, I of course signed the contract. From that point on, things just began to pick up. The editing work was allowing me to improve yet another skill, my Instagram was growing, and more people were starting to notice what I had to offer. More trips, more work, more people. Everything that I had ever hoped for was happening right in front of my eyes. And that takes us to right here, right now. At time of recording, it's December 1st, 2021, and I have passed the milestone of 1 year of business. Flint and Steel is successful and is continuing to be successful. I have met the most incredible people who are some of my closest friends. They have all stuck their necks out for me, and I have never trusted a community of people so much in my entire life. And most importantly, with all things considered, I am once again the happiest I have ever been in my entire life. This video is not just a story of my struggles and my success. I made this to show you how strong and resilient the human mind is when we truly have nothing to lose. This story is not unique to me. I know plenty of people who have gone through times like this and have come out the other side stronger than ever before. I want you to use this video as evidence that it's possible to achieve anything even when you feel like you can't. It's at moments like these that you will find how capable you really are. And if you ever happen to find yourself in a situation like this, know that it's okay to get upset, know that it's okay to feel low and feel like there's nothing you can do, but also know that you can use that to truly discover who you are meant to be. And with that being said, thank you for allowing me to see who I was meant to be.